What up, peeps? So, when is the last time you ever heard anyone admit that they were wrong? I want you to really think about that for a minute. When is the last time you not only heard a friend, family member, stranger say, "Yeah, I thought this, but I was totally wrong about it. Oh well." Uh, but all the way up to somebody in charge. Let's consider people who have some of the most power, people who have some of the most influence or the most money. And the most money usually means the most power and the most influence. So you have the Bezos and the Gates of the world, you have the Elon Musks of the world, but you also have politicians who have much less money, but they have an equal amount of power in some regards. And they make mistakes all the time. We've all done it. But the question is, where is the humility? Where are the apologies? When is the last time you heard any politician anywhere apologize for making a mistake or declaring a bad war that they shouldn't have declared, which, in my opinion, all wars are bad, but that's another story. Uh, I'm not a No, I thought about this the other day. I'm a pacifist. I had to look up the definition because wordplay is so crucial today to understand every definition. Pacifist is somebody who is against war and does not believe that war is an answer to conflict. It's a very simple thing. It doesn't mean that you're not going to kick somebody's ass if they try to mess with your family. It doesn't mean that you're not going to fight back if somebody attacks you. It just means that you don't believe that governments should declare war on another country. Yeah, I'm a pacifist. But I'm also a realist. And I guess to admit when I've been wrong, to admit the mistakes I've made in my life, I just have to start off by saying I've been very careful in my life to not make assumptions. This is probably why I haven't felt stressed to defend my opinions or my views very much. I've never really felt slighted to the point where I have to prove to someone else or a group of people or anyone really that what I believe is right, because I don't care what other people think when it comes to beliefs or ideas about life. I don't care if a person wants to believe that Christ is the only path to salvation and that if I don't believe it, I'm a demon. I've had plenty of people accuse me of being evil because I don't take Christ. But on the other hand, I've had plenty of atheists who think I'm insane for believing the universe might be conscious or aware. It doesn't matter to me what other people think. I could give, no, I couldn't give less of a shit. I want to get these terms right. Uh, I really don't. I really don't. Because the things I've learned, the mistakes I've made in thinking, the thing is, a lot of folks believe, if you think you have the right answers to life, and you just have everything figured out, which I don't think many people really believe that, but let's just say, as for sake of argument, a person believes that they're all correct in all their assessments and that nothing needs to change, their minds won't be changed about anything. I would ask them to think back to when they were 8 years old, or 5 years old maybe, and they believed that either Santa Claus was real or, the tooth fairy, whatever it might be, right? Now consider this. At some point, you realized that you'd been lied to, but it wasn't menacing. You didn't feel you need to seek revenge. You just thought, well, I was lied to because it was fun, and you move on with your life. You don't think anything else of it, but you're changing your beliefs at that point in time. And the same thing happens when you start to understand other people. You might believe that most people are good, and then find most people are really just on the verge of becoming completely insane. All it takes is a little trigger, or it might be vice versa. I'm not saying that that's the case. People are people, and you can never see what's going to happen to a huge group of people or an individual, for that matter, until something has happened. The reason I brought that up is because when you look at society, it seems like everyone gets along pretty well for the most part, and that's true. For example, seeing the glass half full, some people might complain and say, everyone's a shitty driver. Look at all these accidents out here. And this might be the time when I see, okay, there's 2 accidents in a 20-mile stretch of packed freeway with tens of thousands of cars every day. What about the people that don't crash? What about all the nutcases that weave in and out of traffic and bounce off each other and nobody hits? There is a certain agreement that we have to where we'd make shit work. We give a little leeway for someone, and that's just how it is. We, as a society, we tolerate other people's bullshit, and we work with each other because we have to get to where we're going. That's why traffic is the perfect metaphor. But when all that falls apart, when all that falls by the wayside, when chaos envelops an area, that changes. Not necessarily for the worse. I know a lot of people have the Mad Max attitude that when the shit hits the fan, everybody goes and fights for their own and wears spiked helmets and fights for oil. Truth is, after Katrina and after some of these major events where people say, oh, everyone was out looting, the truth was that was just bullshit media. There were people out there risking their lives to save each other, going out with boats and rafts to help one another, and bringing in people from states, 1,000 miles away, donating food and help. People do care about one another. And I know it may seem off track here, but that's because I don't have a plan for this video. But my point being that people do care about one another, and I really believe that. And it's okay for us to change our mind about things. So many people have a very grim view of society right now. I want to say this. If you have a grim view of society, it may or may not be reflecting reality, but you have to live with it every day. And it's important, I think, that we look at ourselves and look at the world and realize that we're going to have to play. We got to play the game, and we've got to do the best we can, and not dwell on the bullshit. We can't play the victim. Yeah, and that's for another topic. My intention here was really to do a video about virtue signaling, but I really wanted to talk about this first. Just kind of acknowledging that it's okay to change your mind. And you just don't hear people change their mind. You don't hear people admit when they change their mind. Some, I'll say, take the extreme opposite approach. They change their mind and they want the whole world to know that they took the red pill or the blue pill and they totally switched parties or switched thinking. That's not the point. The point is to look at everything rationally and try to be reasonable in your views, and that's really all we can do. Those are my opinions. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Leave your comments. Let me know down in the comments section. Peace out.